Hello, B1 family, and welcome back to the YouTube channel, The Big Black American Secret. My name is Daniel Jackson, and I want to take a minute and explain to you all what's going on with the Haiti situation. You know, a lot of people are talking about it, but not a whole lot of people see what's really going on. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you, the reason I put Dr. Francis Cress Welson's video in the description of all of my videos is because until you understand the system of racism, white supremacy, everything is just going to be a big mystery to you. I'm telling you, that video it just pulls the cobwebs off your brain. You know, y'all gonna be in for a treat, I think, in this video because it anyway, I'm gonna get right into it. So before I get into it, let me read the goal of the channel real quick. The goal of the channel is to build an unstoppable army of knowledgeable melanated black people in America and around the world that understand that we as melanated people have one enemy worldwide, and that is the system of racism, white supremacy. Our mission through education is to replace this evil system with a system of freedom, justice, and equality as laid out by Dr. Francis Cress Welsson. We will need your help in building this knowledgeable army. You can help by subscribing to this channel, by donating to this cause through Cash App or PayPal, and by sharing the videos you see here, you watch here, and any knowledge that is shared. In doing so together, we help fertilize the mentally enslaved, colonized mind of black melanated people worldwide, creating the perfect mental conditions for our children to grow up in a better, more balanced world. And again, Dr. Francis Cress Welson's video will be in the description. Every black person on the face of this earth needs to understand the system of racism, white supremacy, and they can spend exactly 1 hour and 23 minutes understanding it right now. Easy peasy. Okay? Now, and if you haven't already, and if you're new, please, well, all of y'all like this video because that'll help push this message out. And also subscribe, share, and hit the all. When you subscribe, hit the bell and then hit the all icon so that you're notified when I go live or do another video. Okay, so the Haiti situation. Now, the reason this is important is because a lot of Haitians have a reputation, kind of like a lot of other people that aren't black Americans. They come here and they think they're above us. You know what I'm saying? They're highly influenced. They want to be under white people. I can't put my finger on it, but what I'm trying to say is this situation, I hope it helps a lot of people who are from areas like Haiti, Jamaica, the islands, Africa. I hope I can help them see something in this. This is what I call your Negro wake-up call. White people see all black people as just black people. See, we are in a system of racism, white supremacy, and we are at war. That being the case, there's two teams. There's Team Black, and then there's Team Racist White. And this is worldwide. You can't go nowhere and escape the system of racism, white supremacy. So if you think you're finna leave America and go to Africa and not experience racism, it ain't gonna happen because it's a global system. What makes it global? It's global because white people live everywhere. White people's systems control everything right now. You understand what I'm saying? And that's why this Haiti thing is such it's a blessing in disguise, because most people will go their whole life and not know what's wrong. They just go through life like in the dark. So when these situations happen, I love it because it gives me an opportunity to shed light to my people about what has been going on for the longest. We've always battled the system of racism, white supremacy. We just didn't know it. Okay, so I'm gonna get into it, and I'm gonna show a couple of videos in this video. So fair use. I'm leaning on fair use. These are for educational purposes only. Okay, don't want any copyright strikes or claims. Okay, so what what's going on with this migrant situation with the Haitians? Because think about it. A few weeks before this happened, you had the Afghanistans who they brought in, okay? And then before that, they had the Mexicans coming in because Biden opened the borders, so to speak. Well, not so to speak, that's exactly what the policy was. So those two groups of people were being welcomed into the United States. Oh, but when the Haitians come, black people, nope, close the border, send these people back to where they came from, right? So most people will get it confused and thinking, oh, well, it's too much going on. We just don't have the capacity. We can't take care of these people. No. That ain't what's happening at all. That is not what's happening at all. Here's what's happening. European white people have always had low numbers. They've always had low numbers. And I'm going to prove that to you in this video. So what's going on is their numbers have gotten even drastically low. In fact, they're in negative birth rates. What does that mean? That means that more of them are dying than being born. And it's their own fault. It's due to drug use, a lot of it, abortions, and simply just not having babies. You see what I'm saying? It's nothing nobody else had nothing to do with. So their numbers are in a negative. Their population numbers are a negative. And I'm going to show you, I'm going to let you listen to something too. Biden himself admitted to this. He didn't mean to. It was a leaked audio. You understand what I'm saying? And I'm also going to show you a document of a primary source from the year 1751, letting you know about the small numbers of European white people, white-skinned people. Now, let's get into this, okay? So I think we'll start off with that leaked audio from Joe Biden. How about that? Okay, so here we go. All right, now some of these videos are from people who I personally follow. And if you get a chance, you follow these people as well. Because some of these people are grassroots like I am, especially this first one I'm going to show. Her name is Vicky Dillard. She's, what network is she on? I forget what network. Oh, Fly Nubian Queen. You understand? When you get a minute, check her out. Go to the channel, subscribe, and do all you can. Because, again, we are at war. Your input, the way you help with the thing is you are our distribution arm to get this information out. Our enemy, all the national news organs, which are all racist, and they have millions upon billions of dollars to spread their message out. So we need you to help spread our message out. And that evens the playing field. You see what I'm saying? So please do all you can to share, like, subscribe on anybody that's down for the cause and they're B1. Follow them. Help get the message out for our people, because it's all about educating our people. And in this video, I'm hyped about it because, again, when black people get their Negro wake-up call, that gives them an opening where I can reach them. You know what I'm saying? Because the way this thing is set up is you have to get your heart broken by the system of racism, white supremacy if you're a black person. Then it takes away the misconception, the illusion that they love you. I'm trying to figure words that make sense. I got my Negro wake-up call when I was working with the groceries chain, Bilo, in South Georgia. And this was in my 40s, not too long ago. I went my whole life not understanding damn near none of this, if any of it. So when I got my wake-up call, that at that point you can consider the system of racism, white supremacy had broke my heart. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool. It did that because it allowed me to not have blinders on, and it opened my mind up to what was really going on to some degree, and it just led me down a path to where I am now. So a lot of people with these Haitians who have huge misconceptions and they think white people love them. You know what I'm saying? And they come over here and they want to be, honorary white supremacists, and that's wrong. All black people need to link up because again, we are at war, and it is a global war against the system of racism, white supremacy, and we can destroy the system easily with education. Racism cannot stand up to the truth. I mean, it is weak. It is flimsy weak. It works best when it's hidden, and it works really well when it has a black face on it. Okay. Now, getting back to what I'm talking about, I'm going to show you a video on this, and it's fair use. It's for educational purposes only, and where Biden is going to admit the European population numbers are low. Okay, so I'm gonna make this big, and then I'm gonna turn my phone around, and then we'll get to where we need to get to. All right, so let's see. Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna turn this around, and oh, you know what? I almost forgot. I gotta plug up my speaker. All right, let's see what we got going on here. All right. Let me just try it real quick.
By 2040, this country...
Okay.
Okay, I'm trying to cue it to the next part, family. Again, this is under Copyright Act of 1976. Thumbs up, like, and share this Zoom call.
Okay, I'm going to turn it around.
Biden, I suppose. I'm the first person, black or white, who calls attention to the fact that you were finding that the rate of people who are African Americans are dying is 3 times that of white people. I don't carry around a stamp on my head saying progressive and I'm AOC, but I have more of a record of getting things done in the United States Congress than anybody you know. Anybody you know. So Biden cringe. By 2040, this country is going to be minority white European. Hear me? Minority white European. And you guys are going to have to start working more with Hispanics, who will make up a larger portion of the population than y'all do. And
now, y'all heard that. Biden said by 2040, the European white population is going to be a severe minority. And us black people, we're going to have to start working with the Mexicans, the Spanish folks. Now, they were just letting Spanish people into America a few weeks ago. Right or wrong. It's all part of the plan. They need those honorary white people in here. Those honorary racist white honorary, I ain't gonna call them racist, I'm gonna call them white supremacists. They're honorary white supremacists. And Biden said it himself. Horse's mouth. Not making any of this up. Okay? So they need to get their numbers up. And the way they're doing that is through other races of people that aren't melanated as we are. The Mexicans, the Afghanistans. Okay what I'm saying? See what I'm saying? This is what you will not see. This is what nobody's going to tell you through mainstream media, because for you to know this, it's counterproductive for them to let you know this. That's why I'm letting you know this. Because again, my job and the goal of this channel, one of the goals, is to destroy the system of racism, white supremacy, and replace it with a system of freedom, justice, and equality. It's laid out by Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. Now, he just said it. White Europeans in America will be a minority by 2040. That's half true. They're a minority now, and they always have been. But they cast the illusion through words and through misinformation and through controlling information to make us think we are the minorities, which automatically inputs in our brain that we are low in numbers, and also makes us think that they are the majority. And they tell us that we are 14% of the population. That's what they've been telling us for years. 10, 11, 14% of the population. Okay? Now, all bullshit, all psychological operations, all of this is psych ops. All of it. All of it. Now, I'm going to stay on point because I don't want this to be a long video at all. I promise you I don't. But, okay, so you just heard Biden tell you himself that the European whites are, by 2040, are going to be a numeric minority. Now, they are a numeric minority right now, but knowing if everybody knew that, it would mess them up real bad. Okay? So now we're going to go to this document from 1751 by Benjamin Franklin, a primary source, which means eyewitness account. He was there in 1751 telling you what he's fixing to tell you. Now, this document is this Benjamin Franklin, of course, and this is the document. It's a very long document. I mean, he had a lot to say. He was pissed. They wanted to send some German people here, and he wasn't happy about it. So I'm going to read, starting here. This is like the last two paragraphs, and you can look this up. This document can be found in the National Archives. Benjamin Franklin's Observations Concerning the Increase of Mankind, 1751. Primary source, okay? Okay, so I'm going to start reading and say, like, right here, okay? It says, and since detachment of England from Britain, now, a disclaimer. There are words in here. You know what? I'm going to read it. I'm just going to read it. And then, because I read this in a few other my videos, and you can go back and check those out. Please subscribe to the channel. But you know what? For time's sake, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to read this document. When I come to the words like Tawny and Swarthy, I'm going to say the definition of the word so that you're no longer confused, okay? I think that's a good way to do that, okay? So, and since detachment of England from Britain sent to America will have their place at home so soon supplied and increased so largely here, why should the Palatine Boers be suffered to swarm into our settlement, and by herding together establish their language and manners to the exclusion of ours? Why should Pennsylvania, founded by the English, become a colony of aliens who will shortly be so numerous as to Germanize us? That means they're German people. Germanize us instead of us Anglifying them, and will never adopt our language or customs any more than they can acquire our complexion, skin color. See? Oh, this passage also tells you not only that their numbers are low, but that there are two types. There's black Europeans and there are white-skinned Europeans. He just alluded to that right there. And any more than they can acquire our complexion, which leads me to add one remark. The number of purely white people in the world. The number of purely white people in the world is proportionately very small. Direct source, primary source. He's telling you that the number of purely white people on the face of the earth is proportionately very small. I'll continue. All Africa is black and brown. All Africa is black or tawny. Tawny means brown. All Africa is black or brown, and it still is today. Asia, chiefly brown, chiefly tawny. Tawny again, brown color. And yes, Asia, the Aboriginal Asians look like you and I. They just had the Asian phenotypes, okay? America, exclusive of the newcomers who are the pilgrims, wholly so. Wholly so what? Black and brown. Black and brown. And in Europe, the Spaniard, the Italian, The French, the Russians, and the Swedes are generally of what we call a black complexion, a swarthy complexion, as are the Germans also. So he was mad because the Germans were black people. He was mad because the Germans were black people. The Saxons only accepted, who with the English make up the principal body of white people on the face of the earth. Who? The English and the Saxons make up the general body of white people on the face of the earth. And I'm sure some of those German people were black and brown as well. You feel what I'm saying? But, okay, I could wish their numbers were increased. I wish there was more white people, white-skinned people. And while we are, as I may call it, scoring our planet by clearing America of woods, they're cutting down trees, and so making this side of the globe reflect a brighter light to the eyes of inhabitants of Mars and Venus, like if somebody was way up in the sky looking down at the earth. Why should we, in the sight of superior beings, darken its people? Why increase the sons of Africa by planting them in America? Dark people. He didn't want the dark people who was dark like the Africans that are in Europe to come here to America. He didn't want those black Germans here. He didn't want those black Spaniards here. He didn't want those black Italians, those black Irish. You feel me? By planting them here in America, where we have so fair an opportunity by excluding all black and browns and increasing the lovely white and red. Okay? But perhaps I'm partial to the complexion of my own country. For such kind of impartiality is natural to all mankind. Well, so he's obviously very racist. I'm gonna just say it flat out, and it is what it is. But he was very honest about what he was saying. Now, hope you caught that. He said of increasing the lovely white and red. The Indian was considered the red man, right? Let me ask you a question. This is a 1-cent copper penny. It's damn near identical to the color of the back of my hand. The definition of the color of copper. Let's pull that definition up. I should have had this pulled up before I came on here, but you know, won't take a long time. Oh, and again, the second part of this channel is to the secret, the big black American secret. The secret is you're an Aboriginal American. You are not a West African slave. And that's kind of what I'm showing you right now, okay? Color of the 1-cent copper penny. Let's see. Okay. Okay. Here's a chart of pennies. These are freshly minted pennies. And see, it says red, and then brown and red. These are ones that have been circulating a while, and these are brown, okay? See the word brown? But let's read this out. It says, to accurately grade copper coins, you must be able to describe the color of the copper. Over time, the brilliant orange-red color of a freshly minted copper coin, freshly minted, red. You got that? Of a freshly minted copper coin, such as the Lincoln cent, will diminish and fade to a deep chocolate brown color. A deep chocolate brown color. Okay? As this degradation of color occurs, there will be varying degrees of which both brown and red colors exist simultaneously. You see it, right? Brown is red, brown and red, brown and red. Okay? On the surface, this color designation only applies to uncirculated copper coins. All circulated copper coins are assumed to be brown. So when Benjamin Franklin was saying the red man, he was saying the brown man. That's your ancestors and mine. We've always been here. But because of the system of racism, white supremacy, they made us believe we're West African slaves. Why? Why did they do this? I'm glad you asked. Check out this definition. I'm glad you asked. Check out this definition. This definition is from the year 1828, and it's the definition of American. American, a noun, a native of America, originally applied to the aboriginals. That's the people from the dirt, the original people, or copper-colored races found here by the Europeans. Now, here's the identity theft. American, but now applied to the descendants of Europeans born in America. People, all of our negative situations and circumstances has never been our fault. We are prisoners of war. These people have been stealing our very American identity, our land, labor, and resources. It's no accident. It is no accident we have been taught in history class what we've been taught. We've been taught that the Mongolian breed of Asian is nation's first people. That term didn't come about until the 1970s and 80s. They put those people in that slot to help them with their identity theft. One, it's a smaller number of those people. They figured if we ever need to, we could just wipe them off the face of the earth or put them in reservations. You know, and reservations are like camps, prison camps. I don't know. But anyway, it's part of the hijack. And therefore, we are West African slaves. You understand what I'm saying? And something very interesting happened this week. In just about a good portion of all my other videos, I tell people about the transatlantic slave trade being told to us in reverse, thanks to Dan Calloway for breaking that news years ago. But not only was it told to us in reverse, it was a cover story for the real slave trade, which took place here on this continent. And I found this. It was called the International Indigenous American Slave Trade. I kid you not. You can go back on my videos. International Indigenous American Slave Trade. It's no longer on the in the lookup. What is in the lookup here? I'll point. I'm gonna go to this one other definition and show you what they've done. See, people. These people know that their time is up. We live in the information age, and they know we are geniuses. That's why we've always had buffers on us. They didn't allow us to see things and do things and to become educated. You understand what I'm saying? But that's good. It's cool. It's cool. You belong to one of the most ancient people on this planet. Based on research and information, we are the people who brought the pyramid building technology to the rest of the world. There are pyramids in South America that are older, larger, and better built than any pyramid on the planet. That means that it had to be first. Everything else is a copy. People, I'm telling you, you are an ancient race of people. You're not only foundational Black Americans. You are the Aboriginal Americans. You are a very special group of people. Out of the 64 or 5 food groups that Africans eat, 60 of them originated here in the Americas. Did you know that? Did you know that? No, you didn't. Because we've been told that this is the old world. When in fact, this is the new world. When in fact, it's the old world. Old world. People, I'm off track. I didn't mean to go on that tangent, but I think somebody needed to hit it. All right, so what am I looking up? Boom. I'm looking up International Indigenous American Slave Trade, right? And these people, boy, they slick, man. They slick as snot. But it's okay. It's okay. We got them. We gonna get them. And so it's amazing that they go out their way the way they do. But you know, I understand they got to do something to try to hold on to their power as long as they can. Okay, so I used to go to this definition and it'd be right kind of in the middle. But anyway, it still says the same thing as just more words. Slavery among the indigenous people of Americas referred to slavery of and by the indigenous people of America. Indigenous people of America, Aboriginal people of America. It began during pre-Columbian area, when many societies across both continents enslaved prisoners of war as instituted systems of forced labor. Contact with Europeans transformed these practices as the Spanish introduced chattel slavery through warfare and they co-opted, I guess, of existing systems. Simply what that means is you had tribes that warred against each other, and that was just a normal thing. But here's the thing: when tribes warred against each other, whoever won, they took in slaves. Those slaves were allowed to marry into that new tribe. It was like a new infusion of blood. But when the Europeans saw that, they would go to the chief and go, "Hey, chief, we noticed you got some slaves there. What you gonna do with them? Why don't you trade those slaves with us for some guns?" And the chief was like, "Okay, I didn't have my mind made up what I was gonna do with them anyway." You see how that works? And then Europeans got greedy. See what I'm saying? So other European powers followed suit. And from the 15th century, which is the 1400s, through the 19th century, which is the 1800s, they enslaved between 2 and 5 million people. Now that's you know what I'm saying? We won't get into the numbers, but from the 1400s to the 1800s, nobody told you that Indians were being enslaved here in America. In fact, they tell us in our history books that when they first came here, they tried to enslave the Indians. The Indians fought, run away. They couldn't be found, so they had to go get West African slaves. That's exactly what we've all been taught. Matter of fact, they told us that when they came here and they came across the indigenous people, the black people, they gave them smallpox and they just died off. No, it didn't happen. They enslaved us. That was the transatlantic slave trade, but that's what it. Anyway, I'm gonna just say it like this: the transatlantic slave trade was told to us not only in reverse, but I'm almost sure that slave trade was the black people that they brought here from Europe. Yes, again, there are black Europeans and white Europeans operating actually here on this continent at the same time. I ain't gonna get off into that. I got another video talking about that in detail, so you should definitely watch that. Again, subscribe, hit the bell, hit all, and share this out. Okay, so I want to stay focused. I got off track there. I think somebody need to hear that. Now, so and again, this video is about what's really going on with this Haitian problem at the border and why it's an issue. Why are they sending those people back to Haiti? It's because the European white people's numbers are low. Their goal is to bump their numbers up by using Afghanistans and Mexicans. I didn't think they were originally thinking about the Afghanistans. That just kind of was a stroke of luck because, first it was just going to be the Mexicans. You heard Biden say that himself. But this thing jumped off from Afghanistan, and so they got another group of Europeans. Afghanistans without the turbans look just like white people. Tucker Carlson said that himself on Fox News. Now, let me get back on track. Okay, so that was Biden's confession. Okay, now I want you to hear the difference in how these people are talking. The news reporters are talking about the two groups of people. Okay, so this video, and again, fair use, is this video that I'm going to show you now is how they're handling the situation with the people from Afghanistan. I want you to pay attention to the tone and the words that's used. Okay, make this bigger. All right.
Thousands of Afghans were able to get out, particularly so we've all watched the Herculean evacuation effort. We know that thousands of Afghans were able to get out, particularly Afghans who helped U.S. troops and diplomats over the last 20 years. They're now arriving in America as refugees. Many of them will be expected to apply for special visas or humanitarian protection as they begin their new lives. However, the sudden influx is putting a heavy strain on refugee resettlement agencies. So for more on this,
So, y'all heard that. These people are welcomed in. Hey, they'll be getting jobs. They'll be being placed in places. They'll get, everything's going to be lovely for them. There's a few hiccups, but hey, welcome in. You know what I'm saying? Now, a lot of people say, well, they're being welcomed in because they were allies over in Afghanistan. And I get that. No worries. Trust me, I understand. This is how the truth is easily masked. But you saw that, okay? Pretty straightforward. They, welcoming the Afghans over here, putting money in their pocket and giving them jobs and a place to live. Now let's see how they what's the tone with the Haitians, okay?
ISIS. The Department of Homeland Security sending 400 additional Border Patrol agents and resuming deportation flights to Haiti within the... What it is, this is a... We need the... Slow down the surge.
Okay.
We need the administration to call this what it is. This is a crisis. The Department of Homeland Security
it's a crisis.
sending
Too many black people.
Additional Border Patrol agents and resuming deportation flights to Haiti within the next 48 hours, adding our borders are not open. And people should not make the dangerous journey.
Borders are not open.
So many already have.
Borders are not open, but they was open when they was bringing the Mexicans over here. It was open just last week with the Afghanistans, right?
DHS saying till recently, thousands lived in South America. This Haitian man sharing he paid 5,000 pesos for help reaching the Texas border. Across the river, the city of Del Rio already struggling. The bridge closure cutting off millions in cross-border business.
We're just a little town. We're not equipped to humanitarily take care of these people.
Authorities say some migrants will be taken to U.S. processing centers, ones where staff aren't already overwhelmed. Others flown back to Haiti.
Yep, they flying them back to Haiti. Them people going back to Haiti. America ain't playing. They got to say, look, y'all got to get up out of here. Now, again, the goal is to boost European numbers because their numbers are in a steep decline. They're in negative numbers. So you can't, you ain't fitting to bring no more black people in here when they white people numbers going down like that. See what I'm saying? So it's a panic mode. They got to get these people up out of here. I hope y'all see that, people. I hope y'all see that. So, and anybody who's Haitian, Jamaican, any black person that's non-black American, please understand what I'm telling you. Please understand what I'm telling you. White people have no love for y'all. It's an illusion. Y'all need to get y'all heads up out of y'all yoo-hoo and see reality. Stop running to these European countries. Stay in your own homeland and build your own shit. It's your shit. Build it up. Quit running from it. Quit running from it. It's your home. That's your shit. Black Americans here in America. This is our home. This is our shit. Stop running from it. Stop moving from your neighborhood trying to move with white people into the suburbs where they at. Because they've been doing this shit for years. Y'all, anybody who is at least my age know what gentrification means. Gentrification is simply this. Those people cause your neighborhood to become degraded by putting drugs in your neighborhood, which causes crime, prostitution, and high crime rates. This drives your property value down. Most of y'all will leave that neighborhood and go try to live next to white people. But guess what's going to happen? When them property values get right to the lowest number, white people finna come back and buy all that stuff up for dirt cheap. And then they're going to run your ass up out of there, whoever left. It's called gentrification. They've been doing this for years. So stop letting them gentrify your neighborhood by staying in your neighborhood. Educate your kids on the system of racism, white supremacy. Homeschool your kids. Get them out these public schools. And then open businesses in your own neighborhood. Stop buying from these foreigners in your neighborhood. After about 3 months, if y'all don't buy nothing, they got to close their doors anyway. Cool. And then that'll be your spot. Baby, this is warfare. This is warfare. We've been at war with these people. We paying our enemies to keep beating us over the head. It's got to stop. You know what I'm saying? The only way it's going to stop is first you understand that you are at war. You got to understand that there is a system of racism, white supremacy that has been in place for about 162 years. And I know that sounds strange because most people think it's been going on for thousands of years. It's not. Before the system of racism, white supremacy, it was European domination. And there were both black and white Europeans in America involved in the slave trade. Read the book, 100 Black Slave Owners in South Carolina. Go to YouTube and look up this one video about William Ellison. He was a black slave owner in, I think, South Carolina as well. One of the wealthiest. A black man. But the difference is he was European black. You see what I'm saying, people? We have been completely hoodwinked. If you're a black American, it's a good chance you have. If you're a black American, here is more than likely your lineage based on my own research, my family. You're Native American, definitely. Aboriginal American. Sephardic Jew and Moor. And black European. Because those are the people that was on this continent during all of this. You understand what I'm saying? And just for y'all who wondering, well, what happened to the black Europeans? Reconstruction. When Abraham Lincoln got killed, he was the first black European that went down. 6 days after the war, they assassinated him. You cannot have, let me back up a little bit. There was a book written by, what's this guy's name? Charles Darwin. The Origin of Species and Natural Selection. This book gave white Europeans the idea that because they were white-skinned, they were genetically superior. This book caught on like wildfire here in the States, and then it circulated worldwide. I think that was I don't know. It was a few years before the war ended. But the white Europeans got in their mind that they were superior. And you cannot have white supremacy if you have rich black people walking around. So they had to get rid of the black European. And they did that during Reconstruction. A lot of those black slave owners lost their land, got killed, hung, ran off. Because what they did was they lumped all black people into the term of just black. The black Europeans failed to exist at that point. They just became black Negroes. People, you can't make this stuff up. You on the right channel. Subscribe to the channel, hit the bell, hit all, hit like, hit the bell, okay? Get your head in the game. Get your head in the game. Because I promise you, you have not heard about Europeans being low in numbers. They are in a negative birth rate. That's why they're panicking. And that's why you also have to be careful about what's going on right now with this situation. I can't say the word, but y'all know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? You have to really think. Watch the video about Dr. Francis Cress Welsing in the video, in the description. Our families' lives are at stake, and we need to be equipped with as much information as possible so we can make the absolute best decisions for our loved ones. Okay? On that note, I'm going to end this video. So please, again, like, share, subscribe, hit the bell icon, and share this video out. Okay? And I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.